Welcome to Tirana, the capital of Albania. This was our first time visiting this Balkan country, and to be honest, I didn't know much what to expect. We spent in Tirana only 24 hours before heading to the south of the country, but the time was enough to realize that the Albanian capital has so much to offer when it comes to history, museums, and great social life. So, let's start with the most important place of the city, called Skanderbeg Square. Skanderbeg Square is the main square in the center of Tirana, and it is one of the biggest European squares I saw. The square is named after the Albanian national hero Skanderbeg, and the plaza area is about 40,000 square meters. The most beautiful building in the square is, of course, the stunning Haji Ethem Bey Mosque that was closed under the communist rule from 1967 till 1991. On January 18, 1991, 10,000 people entered the mosque carrying flags, what symbolized the fall of communists in Albania and the rebirth of religious freedom. This is how the mosque looks in the evening, with the famous clock tower built in Far 1822. For musician lovers, House of Opera is located here, as well as the view of Tirana's modern architecture skyscraper and this nice little fountain. After the square, we went to visit the most important museum in Tirana, where, if you didn't know much about the history of Albanian country, you will get a chance to understand it better and learn a lot as well. Welcome to the Bunk Art 2 Museum. Let's go in, my friends. Bunk Art 2 Museum is an historical cultural project that is focused on preservation of the collective memory and on telling the story of the Albanian communist regime, including its horrors. It reconstructs the history of the Albanian Ministry of Internal Affairs from 1912 to 1991 and reveals the secrets of Sigurimi, the political police that was the harsh persecution weapon used by the regime of Enver Hoxha. The museum is located in the underground tunnel of the Ministry of Internal Affairs that was built between 1981 and 1986, and it is considered as one of the latest great works done by the communist regime within the project of bunkerization. Bunkerization started in the early 70s and led to the building of 175,000 bunkers of various sizes across the whole country. I knew a bit about the Albanian bunkers before I came, but honestly, this information really blew my mind. The bunker where museum is located consists of 24 rooms, an apartment reserved for the Minister of Internal Affairs, where you can see his bed, and a large hall dedicated to intercommunications. Like many other bunkers, this one was also built to withstand a potential chemical and nuclear attack. After we left the darkness of the underground bunkers and happily saw again the light of the day, trying not to think much about the horrifying facts that we just learned about from the harsh communist system, we passed by the Kaplan Pasha tomb, built in the early 19th century, with carved stones and an octagonal shape. The former ruler of Tirana was interned here in the 19th century, but was later repatriated back to Istanbul, Turkey. Okay friends, if you watched my videos, you know what is coming next. It's the best part of the travel day, because it is time for a coffee break. The place I chose for us is called Komiteti Cafe Museum, located in the Rruga Fatmir Haksiu street. And as its name says, it is a coffee shop and a museum at the same time. By the way, I almost always Google coffee shops before visiting the new place. And the interior design of the Komiteti Cafe Museum is inspired by, guess what? The communism era in Albania. The furniture, the walls, the decoration, everything makes you feel like you just did a time travel and you entered someone's old communist apartment. They also have a very nice outdoor place for sitting. The people here working were very kind, and the prices are really affordable.
Thank you.
That was delicious. Time to continue exploring. Our next stop was an 18th century old Ottoman period stone footbridge, also called Tanner's Bridge. The bridge was once part of the St. George Road that linked Tirana with the Eastern Highlands. It is 8 meters long and very picturesque, especially when the sun is not harsh, like ours was in the middle of the day. Our next site to visit was an art installation called The Cloud, placed near pedestrian street called Rruga Murat Toptani, designed by artist Su Fujimoto. The pavilion is a three-dimensional structure made of fine steel bars that forms a semi-transparent space that simultaneously protects visitors from the elements while also allowing them to remain part of the landscape. Looked very interesting. And just some meters away from the Cloud Monument, Toptani Castle is located. The fortress of Justinian, also known as Tirana Castle, is the fortress where before many years the main east-west and north-south roads were crossing, forming the heart of the town as it was back then. The history of the castle goes back to the 13th century. Nowadays, bazaar is located inside the castle, with lots of shops with handmade products, souvenirs, and a lot of bars and restaurants. This is one more interesting monument called Friendship Monument, built in 2016, dedicated to the friendship of the Albanian people with the people of Kuwait. The end of our day in Tirana was slowly approaching, and it was time for some eating. Tirana's nightlife scene is very lively and atmospheric. Prices in restaurants and bars are very affordable, and the food tastes really delicious. Thank you. We ended our day with some sweets. Tomorrow, we're on the road again to explore more of this amazing country. Hope you enjoyed the day in Tirana with me. See you in the next video, my friend. Take care. Bye bye.